I return to the breath that knew me before I knew myself. I return to the rhythm that remembers. I return to the space between thought and reaction. I return to me. In our last session, we remembered breath. Not just air, but awareness. Not just inhaling and exhaling, but essence. The breath that brought us into form, the breath that holds us together in the seen and unseen world, the breath we so often forget as we run through life, unconsciously, conditioned, and disconnected. This time, we want to go deeper. We want to trace the thread not through biology or brain waves, but through ancient memory, through sacred text, through the wisdom of those who knew and what many of us are just now remembering. In the Kemetic text, breath was sacred. It was tied to the vital force Kai, the spirit Ba, and the creative power of divine speech. Tehuti, the master of sacred utterance and wisdom, was the vessel through which divine intelligence flowed. In the Hebrew scrolls, it was called Ruach, spirit, wind, life force, all wrapped in one. In the Vedic tradition, Prana flowed through the nadis, vital life energy, moving on the breath, animating thought, motion, and purpose, not just in, but through. In the Tao, it is the chi, the circulating breath of life itself. In the Yoruba text, it's Imi, God's very breath residing in the soul. Different languages, yes, and different cultures. Same truth. Breath is simply not oxygen. It's divine. The pulse of God within us. Every tradition has said it in its own way, but all point to the same eternal principle. Breath is spirit. And somewhere in our modern rush to define God, to codify the divinity into doctrine and law, we forgot. We forgot that before the name, before the book, before the building, there was breath. It isn't about belief. It isn't about your conversion experience. This isn't about arguing who's right and who's wrong as it pertains to Scripture. This is about remembrance. Remembrance of what already existed within us, the sacred rhythm, the internal stillness, the wisdom that never has been lost, only ignored. So I invite you to feel, to embody, to remember that you never left. Return to breath. Return to rhythm. Return to the quiet knowing that existed before the noise, before the narrative, before reaction. Because the world doesn't need another opinion. It needs presence. And presence begins with breath. This is not the breath of survival. This is the breath of awakening.